Change is difficult. Change is challenging. Change is simply too damn strenuous, grueling, and sometimes just too problematic for us to handle. So, not really that simple at all. And there's a lot of things we can change in our lives. We can change our time zones, the brands we wear, our relationships, bank accounts. But undoubtedly, the most difficult thing or mechanism we struggle and fight and bout to change is ourselves. And how ironic, right? Because isn't ourselves the most important thing we have? Our thoughts, our minds, our views, our values, they make us who we are. They are a reflection of who we are, a reflection of who we want to be seen as in this world. And sometimes we want to change, but we don't. Therefore, we're not reflecting an image we want to reflect, an image we should reflect. And it's a funny question, because why? Why, if we want to change, are we not changing? Now, there's two words I'm going to point out here. And I want you to just take a quick moment and think about these two words. They are want and should. So fundamentally, there are two types of decisions we make in our lives. They are intellectual decisions and emotional decisions. The problem is, somewhere along the way in this world we live in, we are intellectually thinking. We are intellectually making decisions whilst rejecting the idea of emotionally thinking and emotionally making decisions. Now, don't get me wrong, being intellectually smart, wise, and making decisions intellectually can be a great thing. But at what cost? Now, this is where I bring want and should back into the equation. I want to change. I should change. I want to exercise. I should exercise. You know what? I want to eat healthier. I should eat healthier. And it's this intellectual way of thinking, this intellectual decision making. I want to do this. I should do this. That is blocking the floodgates to us really making that emotional connection with our lives, our decisions, and our ability to change. Now, I want to make a pivotal point here. After you've made these intellectual decisions, created the ideas of these wants and shoulds, looking towards changing your life, you never quite get there, and you start getting all worked up because you can never reach your goals. But how are you ever supposed to reach your goals if you only ever want it? If you only ever tell yourself you should do it? This is where we need to change our mindsets. We need to say goodbye to the intellectual decision-making society has taught us to have. Just throw it away. Throw it out the window. We need to open up ourselves to the emotional side of things. And once you start to understand the stipulation and obligation, the importance for change on an emotional level, you can then change the whole I want this, I should do this attitude into a I need this, I must do this attitude. Because if I don't do this, I'm not being who I truly want to be. I'm not going to be a reflection of who I want to reflect. We need to associate the pain of not changing and use that to seek immense pleasure when we do begin to change. Once you understand the requirement for change on an emotional level, this is where you get leverage. This is where you get power and finally take command to dominance your own life. This is where you finally feel obliged to do that thing or not do that thing. This is where you feel obliged to make your own damn decisions. And it's amazing just how simple we can change our lives from changing our mindset from this intellectual way of thinking to this emotional way of thinking. Now you're feeling it. I must change. I need to change. I must exercise. I need to exercise. You know what? I must write. I need to write. Because when we connect the links to the physical action and to the mental why, we really begin to see significant value in our lives. And this is where I'm going to leave you today. I want you to think about what really brings value into your life and what could bring value into your life. And once you start to recognize what's really going to bring value into your life, you can begin connecting the dots to your emotions and use that to make emotional decisions. And I promise you, you will change. You don't want to do that. You don't even think you should do that. You must do that. You need to do that. Today is the day you decide to take action, and I'll see you on the other side.